Good morning, everyone, and Merry Christmas Eve. It's Joni here from Joni's Journals, and I have come along. Yes, I have a stuffy nose. I think I'm getting another cold. I have come along today to do another Advent tag for you. And this one is a relatively simple one. We're just making little I guess they're kind of two-dimensional trees and putting them on a little tag and making a bit of an ornament out of them, or you could use it as a page tag or a doorknob holder. I know that I hang little things on my doorknobs around the house at Christmas time. I have little stuffed animals and things, and they're on a thread, or they have little, I can't explain it, but they have a circular top and it looks like their hands are holding. And so I hang them on the doorknobs too. And so I came along to make these with you today. And I know I just moved the camera. And it's really simple. What I've done, but you don't have to do that, is I have taken one of Tracy's tags, and I've stitched around mine, but you absolutely do not need to sew. I did some crazy stitching on them, and this is a plain one that I did, no stitching, and I glued two tags together. As you can see, I wanted to give it a little bit of body. This one has some leftover background from Tracy's random background that I glued to the back of one of her tags from the kit. And I made some little trees, and they're really simple to make. And I added some bling. So that's what we're going to make today. And I'm hoping you're seeing everything. Yes, you are. Okay. The camera view looks a little darker from down here than it does from up there. Okay, so let's make our little tags. This one I added some of those dangles that I used from the freebie kit that Tracy has on her website. And I hung some of those on. If you watched my video the other day, you'll know how I made those. And these two are just their little plain selves. I punched some holes and I put in some grommets. We are not putting in grommets because everyone knows how poorly my grommet experience is when I have to do it on camera. But we will be adding our bling. I still have some left from the bag that I got from Michael's. So let's make our little trees. I've been experimenting and trying to figure out the easiest way to make a tree on camera with you that would be cute and simple and nothing fantastic. You know, well, it is fantastic, but nothing of a fantastic adventure in making a tree. As you can see, this one has a lot of little limbs, but I didn't really want to make it that complicated for everyone. I wanted it to be cute and simple and maybe a last minute thing that you could do just before the holiday comes. So what I've done is I still have one tag left over. This one I did stitch on. This is a tag from the kit, and this is also a tag from the kit, and I glued them together. And because my fussy cutting is not always the best, once I glued them together, I had to trim them around a little. And then I took this one over to my sewing machine, and I did some crazy stitching on it, and I left the wild and funky ends of the thread on it. So that's the one we're going to be using today. But as I said, you don't have to do that because this one I did no stitching on and it came out just as cute. So let's get started. What I did in order to make my tree is I measured the height of my tag, and in this case, it's just short of 6 inches. Okay, it should be 6 inches, but with all the trimming and fussing and things that I had to do, it's a little bit below. And it's just about 3 inches wide. So in order to make my tree, I knew that I wanted the tree to fit across the width of the tag and to fit into the height of the tag. So as I said, The card is 6 inches by 3 inches. So what I did was I took a piece of paper, and I'm just grabbing one, that is 5 inches by 3 inches. This way, when you cut out your tree, and I'm going to show you how to do that, it will fit on the width of your card, because you are ultimately, let me grab another one, you are ultimately going to have 2 trees side by side on your card to create the dimensional effect. So let's get started on that, and I just want to make sure I have the right tree. So you take your piece of paper, in this case it's cardstock, and I printed Tracy's green backgrounds on both sides, and you're going to fold it in half. You can use your scoreboard if you want. You don't have to. And I am going to show you how to do this, and then I'm going to end up ultimately using that tree. And what you're going to do is you're going to take your piece of paper, you're going to fold it in half, and starting on your folded side, you're just going to cut the shape of a triangle. So you're going to cut all the way down like so. Okay. And clip that off, and this is going to be your scrap. As you see, we open it up and we have almost to the shape of a tree. And then you're going to, in order to make your stump, you're going to cut across. Mine is probably, well, this one's about 3/4 of an inch. You can make it whatever size you want. It really doesn't matter how big the stump of the tree is. And you're going to cut across about 3/4 of the way. Okay, so it's going to look like this. And then you're going to cut up from the bottom to meet the cut you made across, like so. And if you don't cut perfectly, like I don't, you're going to pull the ends off, and you're going to end up with a tree that looks like this. Okay? So once you have that, I'm going to put that one aside because I've already prepared these. Where did I put my folded piece of paper? No, I'm going to use this one. So I'm going to fold the piece of paper in half again. You're going to need 2 of them, by the way. I don't know if I said that. That's the way my morning is going. I knew that this was a quick and simple craft, but when I got up this morning and I said to myself, okay, let's get ready for our video, I couldn't remember how I had done it. So you're going to need 2 pieces of paper. In my case, it's 5 by 3. You're going to need 2 because you're going to make 2 trees. Oh, gosh. Okay, so you're going to take your second piece of paper that's 5 by 3, and you're going to fold it in half. And you're going to take the tree that you've already made, which is already folded in half, and you are going to fit it inside of the folded piece of paper, like so. So now you have your folded piece of paper and your little tree. I'm hoping this is coming across as easy as it really is, because it seems like I'm making it very complicated. So now you have your tree and your other piece of paper, and you're going to fit them together. You're going to push it down into the fold, like so, okay, so that it's sitting inside. Then you're going to open it up, and you're going to take your scissors, and you're going to cut around your very first tree that you made. And I'm going to take this, and I've also found that at this point, if you're not happy with the shape of your tree when you made it the first time, you can trim it up, straighten it out, whatever you want to do. You're going to cut around like so. There we go. And you're going to hold it, and you're going to cut around again. Now, when I do the next step, you're probably going to say to me, why didn't you do that first? It might make it easier. But this is a pretty simple way to do it. You could even trace around your tree onto your piece of paper and then cut around your trace lines. So let's see. Okay. Cut around like that. And then just grab it and cut around like that. So now you have 2 trees that are exactly the same size. Now you're going to take one tree. I'm going to fold these back in half again because I want to have a nice sharp fold when I do this. And let's do this one like so. You're going to take one of your trees, and what you're going to do is you're going to sit it inside your other tree so that you can get the effect that we have here. But what you're going to do is you're going to glue the trees together. So let's get some glue. And you're just going to run a bead of glue. And when I tell you a very fine bead of glue down your crease line, you don't need a lot of glue and you don't want a lot of glue. You're going to run a bead of glue all the way down that crease line. And as you can see, there's barely any glue in there. Then you're going to take your first tree and you're going to sit it into your second tree like so that they are now glued together. Don't squish it, don't squeeze it, because you don't want the glue to ooze out. Okay, so you leave that. Let's put that aside for now. Now what you're going to do is you're going to create your hanger. You can see it better on this side for your piece of string. So what I've been doing is I have been taking my ruler and I have been measuring across just at the part where the tag's corner is here, right there. And I'm going to have to do it upside down because I can't see. And I take my ruler and I measure across right at that point. And then I'm going to take a pencil. Well, actually, in this case, I'm going to take a marker, a Sharpie. And I'm going to look to see. This is 3 inches. So I'm going to come in a 1/2 inch from each side. Oh, I moved it. I'm going to come in a 1/2 inch from each side. And I'm going to make a little dot. Because that's where we're going to punch our hole. Okay? And so now I'm going to come in a 1/2 inch from this side. And I'm going to make a little dot. Because that's where we're going to make our other hole. I tried doing them randomly, but they came out lopsided. So now you can see you have your 2 little dots, and that's where we're going to punch our holes. As I said, I'm not going to put in grommets because it's quite embarrassing because I never have any luck. And I'm going to take my crocodile because I can see through it to where my little hole is. And of course I have to move my thing down. And I'm going to take and I'm going to punch a hole right where I made that little dot. Yeah, of course I am because I can't see. Hello. Okay. I think I got it. All right. Oh my goodness. Let's try this again. So is everybody ready for Christmas? If you celebrate, we are cooking our Christmas Eve dinner. Well, my husband's actually cooking it because we have the Italian tradition of the Feast of Seven Fishes on our Christmas Eve dinner. And we never quite come up with 7 fish. So this year we've decided to use Swedish fish, which is a candy if you're not aware. And we just did it as a big joke because we had 6 fishes and we needed a 7th. So we said, why not Swedish fish? Okay, now we're going to go back and we're going to grab our trees that we've glued together. And you're going to open them up. And hopefully my glue didn't ooze. You're going to open it up so that you have one tree behind the other, like so. You see? You open them up. And then see, I did ooze my glue, but that would be just the way things are going. Okay, let's see. Oh, I got it. Okay, so now you have your 2 trees that are glued together. What you're going to do is you're going to take the back tree, which, excuse me, is, of course, got too much glue on it. And you're going to bend them apart, like so. Okay, if you run into a problem like I did, that I have too much glue. See, I told you this is a lesson learned. All right. Okay, I think that's good enough. They're separated. And then what you're going to do is you're going to, oh, my glue is coming apart. This is just turning into being one of those days. Let me push them down together again. No biggie. We'll just try and reattach them. I guess I didn't give enough time for the glue to dry. All right, let's try again. Okay, that's better. Now you're going to take them, you're going to fold them apart. And I'm going to lay mine down. And I'm just going to try and even them up as best as I can. Like so. I'm going to give a little fold. You can see I put too much glue. And I'm just going to take my bone folder. And I'm going to push down. Like so. If that happens to you, make this the back of your tree. Because you see on the front, there's a little bit of a mess, but not too bad. And now you have your two-dimensional tree. See? These are two separate trees glued together. All right. Now, what I want to do is I want to ink around the edges of my tree. And I might put a little in the middle here where we have our boo-boo. So it doesn't, it'll just look like, I don't know, the tree has a dark spot. Okay, I'm going to go around and I'm going to ink the edges on all sides, like so. I'll just give this one a light inking. See, this is our messy side. I told you that's where we put too much glue. Okay, I seem to be losing my voice, but that's okay. I'm sure my family will be happy. I'm going to take a sip of my coffee. Oh, that's better. Yeah, I seem to have a little cough, and I think it's more of an allergy than a cold this time. Because in Florida, we do get what I fondly refer to as tree debris. And it does give some people an allergic reaction. Okay, so now we have inked our tree. I'm going to put that aside. And what we're doing is we're going to glue our trees down to our card. Now, since this is the side that came out poorly, we're going to make that the back of our tree. And I'm just going to put a little glue around all the edges and across the stump. Can you see what I'm doing? Yes, you can. And I am just going to make sure. See, this is why it doesn't really matter if the trees seem to be splitting apart, because you are gluing, ultimately gluing both of them to the card. Now you're going to take your tree, the center of your tree, and you're going to center it on your card. Like so. Am I actually getting mine centered? Can't really see. Oh, and I got it straight too. Wow. Okay, there we go. And then you just want to take and flatten it out and push your tree down so that it sticks really well to your tag. Like that. Okay. So now you have your two-dimensional tree. And what I did on mine was I, of course, added some bling. I put a little star on top and some little bling down here. And we can do that too. And then we'll put our string through. And I'll let you guys go from this bit of torture that I've just been putting you through. I'm going to take one of my big gems, which are probably reflecting in the light. And I'm going to use that, oops, as the star on my tree. Oh, I seem to have picked up another one at the same time. So I'm going to put my gem right there, and I'm going to push it down and make sure it's in the center, like that. And there's our star. Okay, we have our little star on our tree. That's not completely centered, but I think that's because my tree is not happy. Let's see. Okay, it stuck down pretty good. Okay, it's another one of those bumbling videos. And then what I'm going to do is I am going to add some bling to the corners, the bottom corners of my tree, like so. And I'm not adding any extra glue because these stick down really well to the paper for some reason. I would always be a little nervous that they wouldn't. Okay, so now we have 2 on the inside of our tree. And let's just grab 2 more. And we'll put them on the outside corners of our tree. Can you see what I'm doing? Like so. You could add little paper ornaments to yours if you wanted, or add more bling onto your tree. But like I said, I wanted to make this a simple little craft and a simple little video. There we go. Okay, so now we have our little jewels on our tree, and we have our star. And now we're going to add our string. Let's see, let's use some of this. I was using this. This is just regular twine. I was using this to put tags on my Christmas gifts that I was wrapping yesterday. So let's use some plain little twine. On here you can see on this one I used the embroidery string. And on this one I used some of that burlap string. And on the other one, on this one I also use the embroidery string. But on this one we'll use regular twine. I don't have any baker's twine. I can't find it. I thought I did, but I apparently don't. Okay, and then what you're going to do is you're going to take your string and you're going to push it up from the back on one side. Yeah, let's just... Oh my gosh, today's a day of if anything can go wrong, it will. We're going to put our twine... No, we're not. Let's try this again. Oh, I hope this is not my first video that you've watched. Okay, because I don't always do things like this. Let me see if I just squish it down and get it a little damp. Okay, there we go. I think I finally got it. Yes. Okay, so you're going to put your twine from the back to the front on one side. And then you are going to, I am going to do this tightly. Put your twine from the back to the front on the other side because you don't want your twine to show in the front. You don't want to cover up your beautiful star. Okay, you know what? Okay, I know that's gross, but I just made it a little wet. And it's still not going to go through. Okay, you know what? We're going to grab a piece of embroidery thread, because I know that that will fit through. I will try to get the twine through later. Okay, let's use the embroidery thread. I had the same problem when I put the burlap thread through also. I kind of had to fight with it. Okay, here we go. There we go. Okay, you're going to put it through from the back on one side, as I was saying, and you're going to put it through from the back on the other side, as I was saying. Okay. And then you're going to just pull it up in the front. See, your thread shows in the back, not in the front. And then you can do a simple little knot like this. Yeah. Okay. And have it that way. Or like on this one, where is it? Which one was it? It's this one. I tied a little bow at the top after I made my knot. And there you go. There you have it. There's your two-dimensional tree, tag, ornament, whatever you'd like it to be. And I hope you enjoyed that. It was supposed to go a lot simpler than it did. But here we have it. And I will link the Advent kit below, and also the advent calendar. I realized that today is the last day of the collab. At least I'm pretty sure it is. I think it is. And Corey Marchadaman, Creating with Scraps, has her video up and running already. My video was yesterday on the 23rd, and I do want to publicly apologize. Angie Garcia also was on the same day as I was, and I didn't realize. I don't know if it was a last-minute addition, but my calendar that I had was an older calendar, and it must have been one of the first ones that we put together. And her name wasn't on there. But go over and check out her video for day 23 as well. She did a really cute little wooden tag using caustic wax and some dangles and things, and it came out awesome. Well, guys, that was my another bumbly craft. I hope you enjoyed it. Remember to like, subscribe, and comment. Merry Christmas, Happy New Year, and I will probably see you again before the new year, but let's just get that out of the way in case I have a problem. I'm sending you love and hugs. Thanks for watching, and remember to check out everybody else's Advent videos for the year. Take care now. Bye-bye.